Somehow this balloons from an event that cost $1 million the first year they did it to $63 million now. Harry has ballooned the budget from $1 million. It cost $1 million to do it with 400 people. It's now $63 million with an extra 140 people. What the fuck? I mean, that's insane.
They're ashamed of him. They consider him dangerous and toxic, which is why if you meet him, you do so behind closed doors.
Yeah.
200,000 pounds go toward the vets. 200,000 pounds out of 63 million. What the?
So Spike Lee rejected Prince Harry's handshake in an awkward moment during the New York Knicks versus San Antonio Spurs game, as seen in an exclusive
this is awkward.
video.
They have the bloated salaries. They pay like 23 people over $100,000 a year for a 7-day. I mean, it's just insane.
Meghan and Harry are reportedly so broke they can't even divorce. The legal fees would bankrupt them.
Money's going to be a big... And this is the mood music, JJ. All of this builds up to a scenario in which the marriage is under pressure. The penny drop for Harry, realizing you've ruined my life.
There's an audit being done on the $63 million right now. I think this is going to turn out very, very badly.
Injured service members were supposed to be the focus of all this. So here's the question. How does an event connected to Prince Harry end up costing a reported $63 million when so many people are asking where that money actually went? And trust me, the spending is only the beginning. By the time you see the full picture, you'll understand why so many people started asking tough questions. The 2025 Invictus Games in Vancouver reportedly cost around $63 million. A total of 543 veterans participated. Break that down, and it comes out to roughly $118,000 per participant. Keep that figure in mind, because once people started comparing it to other events, the difference raised a lot of eyebrows.
The media are having a total meltdown about Harry and Meghan now, and seeing just how isolated they are and what a toxic brand they are. So the royal family don't want the Sussex brand anywhere near their very successful royal brand. Similarly, Hollywood, as we know, have turned their back on Harry and Meghan as well. The whole thing's a hot mess.
Take the Warrior Games in the United States. Similar mission, similar competition, and it reportedly operates on about $2 million a year. A comparable event in Germany reportedly runs on a fraction of that amount while hosting hundreds of participants. That's why critics began asking how one event could cost so much more than others with similar goals. Once people noticed those numbers, they started looking deeper. And that's where even more questions appeared. Financial filings and public records became the center of attention. According to reports that drew public scrutiny, direct funding to veteran-related charities dropped significantly during one period. At the same time, overall revenue increased. A new executive position with a 6-figure salary reportedly appeared. Reserve funds grew, and compensation figures sparked debate among observers reviewing the records.
So, also, it doesn't pay for the veterans' transportation or insure them. I mean, what is this paying for?
The insurance thing is insane.
It is. Lots of private jets, lots of camera crews, lots of security, a documentary, beautiful fashion, of course, from Meghan, 5-star hotels they stay in. I wonder... I mean, somebody is doing it. There's an audit being done on the $63 million right now. I think this is going to turn out very, very badly.
For critics, the concern wasn't just about how much money was coming in, it was about where that money was going. More revenue, higher administrative costs, and fewer resources reportedly reaching the intended causes became the main issue being discussed. What made the story even bigger was the public funding involved. Reports indicated that millions came from government sources, including funding connected to Canada and British Columbia. As people examined documents tied to the event,
the figures have been inflated. They've made less money than they claim. And this is propaganda from the relentless and ruthless Sussex public relations machine, which never sleeps.
And they said that the $4 million in sponsorships, that the sponsors, the corporate donors, aren't named. So I'm wondering, because people will rag on the corporate sponsors? Do they have people giving them money who say, don't use my name? Is that possible? I'm amazed nobody has been all over this before, but thank God Paula Froelich is getting in the mix on this thing.
Some records contained redactions that limited what could be publicly reviewed. One document even led some observers to question whether compensation figures were being presented clearly. That only added more attention to the discussion. To be fair, there has been no public evidence showing Prince Harry personally received any of these funds. That's important to note, but critics argued that greater transparency could have helped answer many of the questions being raised. When requests for more detailed explanations didn't produce the answers some people expected, the debate only grew louder.
And I was watching Kinsey Schofield, who's great, by the way, and she had Paula Froelich, who's done phenomenal research on this. I know Mark Dolan quotes her a lot. And she's talking about how it looks like this has been nailed down in San Diego for 2029.
Now here's the part many people overlook. The story wasn't driven only by major news outlets. A large amount of research reportedly came from an independent online commentator who spent countless hours reviewing filings, comparing figures, and highlighting details that others had missed.
So, and then have these quotes from Harry. Time magazine does, Invictus gives them their identity back. What? What? And then he says it saves lives?
Well, she's big on saying that. I mean, look at all the lives Meghan saved by buying jeans.
Oh, God. What a pile of crap. I can't
it's all-
believe she
it's
ever
all
said it, but
crap.
she did. So many have come to Harry, according to Harry, and said, if it wasn't for Invictus, I would have offed myself. Probably for all the transportation bills and medical bills that they didn't want to stick their family with if they offed themselves. That's probably why they don't off themselves, because of the Invictus Games.
Later, a well-known journalist covered similar findings and received widespread attention. That sparked frustration among some followers who believed the original researcher deserved more recognition for the work. Comment sections quickly filled with people arguing that proper credit should be given. It may seem like a side story, but it reveals something important. Much of the public discussion began because one determined person spent the time digging through documents that many others had ignored. And that leads directly to the question at the center of this entire controversy.
People in the comments were mad at me. They're like, don't you give him credit for the Invictus Games. The royal family started it with money William got from
really? I
a
didn't know
lawsuit that William won. He donated money to start the Invictus Games. That's what people said in the comments. I don't know. Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong about that. And then they turned it over to Harry to give him something to do.
What a loser.
That sounds believable to me.
Was Invictus ever really Harry's project from the beginning? That's a question that keeps coming up, and plenty of people have strong opinions about it. Some argue that the early groundwork came from the Royal Foundation, where Prince William was also involved. According to that view, much of the structure and support behind the project was already in place before Harry became its public face. They also point to reports about funding connected to legal settlements and royal initiatives that helped get the project off the ground.
But what's interesting is, once again, the only thing they know what to do, particularly I would say in the case of Prince Harry, is to look at something and think, can we just copy that?
So they've already had to effectively shutter their philanthropic business, which is Archwell, and they've got rid of, first of all, a few of the heads of the charity have left, and they've also laid people off. They're getting through staff at a rate of knots. The issue you've got, yes, there is some cash there from the Queen Mother, late Queen Mother inheritance to Harry, which he didn't deserve.
The official version tells a different story. According to widely published accounts, Harry was inspired after attending the Warrior Games in 2013 and helped create a new international competition focused on injured service members and veterans. Those are two very different narratives, and many people have already decided which one they believe. For critics, the current controversy isn't just about rising costs. They see it as a project that started with goodwill, but later became surrounded by difficult questions and public debate.
Birmingham is getting $26 million, or Harry, I'm sorry, is getting $26 million from Birmingham for the Invictus Games. And I mean, people are really like, why is the government spending all this money? It's crazy.
Once that perspective takes hold, every new development seems to add another layer to the discussion. The conversation didn't end with Canada either. Attention quickly shifted to future host cities, where more questions started appearing. One of the upcoming events is reportedly planned for Birmingham. The city has faced well-publicized financial challenges, including budget pressures and service reductions. Because of that, some residents have questioned how major funding can be found for a large international event while local concerns remain unresolved. Then attention moves across the Atlantic. Reports have linked the 2029 Games to San Diego, and that sparked another wave of speculation. People immediately started asking where the funding would come from and what level of public support might be involved. Critics argue that hosting large events can place significant financial demands on cities.
They need a government to give more money. They need $126 million to be more private jets, more camera crews, more everything. He said he wants to have more competitors. It costs so much money. They had 400 competitors for $1 million. It costs for 140 more competitors. It costs $62 million. Holy shit, that's gonna be expensive. So This Time 100 thing is coming up more and more now. People are just blown away that he is on the Time 100 leaders of sports with LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes and Mayweather and all these people. It's like, Harry, Prince Harry.
Supporters, on the other hand, point to potential economic activity and international attention. The debate continues and opinions remain sharply divided. At the same time, another development caught people's attention. Reports indicated that Australia withdrew a previously announced funding commitment worth millions of dollars. Organizers reportedly said they received very little warning before the decision became public. For many observers, that's what intensified the discussion. One funding source appeared to step back while other major commitments continued to appear elsewhere.
What is an impact officer anyway? I never heard about what happened to that job, but I did hear that company laid off a bunch of people, and they were furious that they were still paying Harry at the time. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, well, they pay this zero who never shows up, and yet they have to lay all of us off.
He flew to San Antonio. He's not from New York. He's not from San Antonio. I don't know that he's a big Knicks fan. I don't know that he's a big Spurs fan. But here he is. He went to the game. I believe he was on the 8th row.
Whether that's meaningful or simply coincidence depends on who you ask, but it certainly kept the conversation alive. Then came another controversy. Harry's inclusion on a major time list generated a surprising amount of backlash. He appeared in the sports category alongside some of the biggest names in athletics, and critics immediately questioned the decision. Many didn't hold back. Some openly asked, who signs off on that?
And that's because he's sitting way back, basically near the roof somewhere, row 8 or something like
roof.
that. And you could barely even make him out. All the real celebrities were obviously courtside, but Harry, way back in row 8.
And look, Adam Silver is not interested in Harry. He's talking to anybody but Harry. Look at the body language. Adam Silver's way over here. Harry's way over there.
And the guy to Harry's left there to our right is a member of the Wounded Warriors too, and he doesn't even want to talk to Harry.
No one's dork. Everyone seems to be talking to someone.
Away.
Others pointed to business connections and corporate relationships involving organizations associated with Harry. Those links became the basis for online theories and speculation, even though many of the claims remained matters of opinion rather than established fact. Regardless of where people stand, the reaction showed just how closely every move connected to Harry is being watched right now. To critics, the connections keep raising questions. They look at the same circles.
Now, when Harry noticed the Oscar winner pointing at him, aggressively, by the way, he doubled back and stuck his hand out. I'm guessing he didn't understand what finger pointing means. I'm sure he didn't even know that this was Spike Lee. So let's watch this video again. I could watch this on repeat, and I probably will. I'll show it a few times in today's episode. But it says here that the filmmaker, Spike Lee, watched the Duke of Sussex hug someone in the stands at Texas's Frost Bank Center at the NBA Finals Game 5 before saying something to the retired royal. Oh, I love that he's called the retired royal. This is quality journalism right here.
The same organizations and the same public recognition. And they don't see coincidence. They see a pattern that keeps showing up again and again. That's why some of them argue that Harry's public image is being supported by influential networks rather than built entirely on his own achievements. Whether that's true or not, it's a belief that has gained plenty of traction online. Then came a moment that added even more fuel to the debate. Harry traveled to San Antonio for an NBA Finals game as a guest of the league commissioner.
The weekend was Prince Harry serving Warrior Games, serving burgers and all that sort of stuff. Now, if this had been done without tipping off the media, if this had been done basically without, he's going to be there at this period, he's staying this long. Now, their excuse is security. If people gathered round and the van became unsecure and all this, excuse me, I get both sides of that, right? I totally do.
And then he's only got $4 million from sponsors, and he needs another $33 million, I guess. And they said that the $4 million in sponsorships, that the sponsors, the corporate donors, aren't named. So I'm wondering, because people rag on the corporate sponsors? Do they have people giving them money who say, don't use my name? Is that possible?
What caught people's attention wasn't just that he attended, it was where he was sitting. When television cameras found him in the crowd, social media immediately zoomed in. He wasn't sitting courtside, and he wasn't front and center. Instead, viewers noticed he appeared several rows back, which quickly became the subject of jokes and memes. The internet had a field day with it.
What you're looking at on that balcony is a slimmed down monarchy, a lean, mean fighting machine, a monarchy fit for the future, a modern monarchy that doesn't need or want Harry.
And people put it bluntly. One brother is living it, the other's imitating it, and the gap gets wider every single time he tries to close it.
Harry, though, is not having it. He was seeping with jealousy and could not believe that this went so well, utilising this opportunity, particularly on Trooping the Colour weekend, where he thought, let me show my fun side, pulling funny faces, playing to the crowd. I'm very good at this sort of thing. You will remember me and like me. And what they're trying to do, because America has had enough, is, look, remember why you liked us.
People turned it into a giant game of Where's Waldo as screenshots spread across social media. One comment that gained attention joked, "Several rows back for the prince who's several places back in the royal line." That line alone generated plenty of reactions.
I'll tell you what's more painful for Harry. He wasn't missed. I mean, Harry, who's Harry? Prince who?
Yeah.
Because if you watched the Trooping the Colour, and it was an amazing ceremony watched around the world, you've got the All-Stars, haven't you? You've got King Charles and Queen Camilla. You've got William and Catherine. You've got Princess Anne. You've got Edward.
Yeah.
You've got the children, the next generation. It's a problem because they've got bills. $3 to $4 million all in, staffing costs, security, international travel, private education for the kids, the mortgage I mentioned. They've got grounds staff. They've got help in the kitchen because we know Meghan she's not a cook, okay? We have documentary evidence of that. We've got 16 episodes of We Love Meghan that demonstrate she's never seen a stove before.
Then people started analyzing photos from the event. Images showing Harry and the commissioner sparked countless discussions online. Some viewers claimed the interaction looked awkward, while others said people were reading far too much into a single moment. As always, opinions split into two camps almost instantly. Another clip also gained attention. When filmmaker Spike Lee appeared to acknowledge Harry during the game, social media users immediately began dissecting every second of the interaction. Some interpreted the exchange as uncomfortable, while others argued it was being exaggerated far beyond what actually happened.
They have multiple mortgages on the home. They're really trying to keep up with the Joneses. You also have to remember they spend a lot on security. I don't know why, because it doesn't seem anyone wants to go near them, but they spend a lot on security. But Spotify has dropped them. Netflix is pretty much done with them. They're persona non grata over there. And so if they are heading for a divorce, what is there to fight over?
He's quoting a story in Radar Online that says divorce would bankrupt them. They're so leveraged that they cannot possibly get divorced. I mean, I don't really think they're looking to get divorced right now, but it sounds like they're terribly leveraged. Harry's trapped. They spend $3 to $4 million a year on private security, $14.5 million house. They owe $9.5. Now, Mark said the mortgage is $500,000 a month. How could a mortgage be that high?
Online speculation quickly followed. Various theories began circulating, with users connecting unrelated stories and old rumors to explain the moment. None of those claims were clearly verified, but that didn't stop people from replaying the clip and debating it over and over again. Then attention shifted to Harry's appearance at the U.S. Warrior Games. During the event, he spent time meeting participants and engaging with attendees. Supporters viewed it as a positive gesture and an effort to show support for service members. Critics, however, saw it very differently. Some questioned whether the visit was simply about visibility at a time when public scrutiny surrounding Invictus remained high. Others wondered whether the appearance was intended to strengthen relationships and build support for future projects. Those questions became another topic of debate across social media and commentary channels. Beneath all of that sits a comparison that never seems to go away: Harry versus his brother, William.
But I would not be shocked if in a few years they are divorced. I feel like financial strain is one of the top 2 or 3 reasons couples divorce. And it's clear something is not right here, right? There is something that just seems a little dicey to me with their finances. I would not be shocked if Meghan Markle leaves Prince Harry for someone wealthier. The problem is these billionaires she would want, like Elon Musk and these folks, they don't want to date Meghan Markle. Okay, these really successful men out here who Meghan Markle would love to glom onto and she would ditch Harry for in a second, they want to date young, exciting women. They don't want like an washed up Duchess.
Not long ago, William received widespread attention after a spontaneous interaction during a public visit went viral. Many viewers described the moment as natural, relaxed, and genuine. It was exactly the kind of clip that spreads quickly online because people connect with it instantly. That's where critics draw their comparison. They look at carefully planned appearances, organized events, and highly publicized engagements, then compare them with moments that appear more spontaneous. Fair or not, some argue that one approach feels more authentic than the other. Whether that perception is accurate is open to debate. What isn't debatable is that every public appearance now gets examined frame by frame, and every interaction becomes part of a much larger conversation surrounding Harry's public image.
The other issue you've got is, so while we'll acknowledge there is some money in the bank account, they've got a big mortgage on the house, and there is no cash flow. JJ, there's nothing coming in.
Yeah.
So you know, and our viewers know, that when you've got your savings and you're living off your savings, you're in a dangerous place, and that's where they are.
While William was taking part in Trooping the Color alongside senior members of the royal family, Harry was thousands of miles away attending a public event in the United States. That contrast didn't go unnoticed, and social media was quick to compare the two images. Critics summed it up in a simple way. One brother remains at the center of royal life, while the other is building a very different path. Fair or not, that's the comparison that keeps showing up whenever they're discussed together. Many viewers focused on the atmosphere surrounding Trooping the Color itself. What they saw was a smaller royal lineup that appeared confident, organized, and comfortable in the spotlight. The King, William, Catherine, and other senior family members were front and center during one of the monarchy's biggest public events. What stood out to some observers wasn't anger or controversy. It was something quieter.
Her brand, as ever, is facing a $5 million loss if she can't find a way to offload or sell her products before they expire. Now, they're supposed to expire next summer in 2027. All of her jams and her flour sprinkles and her chocolates, whatever the hell she's selling, her jams, jellies, and dog biscuits, okay?
Online discussions suggested that Harry's absence barely became part of the conversation. Few people seemed focused on who wasn't there. Instead, attention stayed on the family members who were present. For critics, that may be the most difficult part. Public attention moves quickly, and once people stop talking about someone, rebuilding that attention becomes much harder than dealing with criticism in the first place. That brings the discussion to Harry and Meghan's life in California, where constant speculation about finances continues to circulate. Various reports have claimed that the couple has reviewed spending, adjusted staffing arrangements, and taken a closer look at long-term costs. None of that is unusual for high-profile households, but those reports have fueled ongoing debates about how expensive their lifestyle may be. Commentators often point to security expenses, property costs.
I've never seen a brand where you're selling bookmarks, flour sprinkles, chocolates, and jams. Okay, none of it makes sense to me. None of it really goes together. Why is there a bookmark next to a box of flour sprinkles? All of it is a bunch of buffoonery and shenanigans.
Travel and business ventures as major financial commitments. At the same time, several media partnerships that once generated headlines have changed, ended, or become less active, leading some observers to question what future revenue streams might look like. Then another rumor started spreading online. Some commentators claimed that financial considerations could make major life decisions more complicated than many people assume. Those claims remained speculative, but they gained plenty of attention because they fit into a larger narrative that critics were already discussing.
According to the New York Post, she is also facing low visitor numbers to her site, which is also why they're having low sales. So the site brought in 213,000 visits in February. It recovered slightly in March with 226,000 visits, but fell again in April with 178,000 visits. Now, if there's one thing I learned in marketing and in social media marketing, and I've been doing this for a few years now, a good conversion rate is maybe 2%.
When Harry was later photographed on a trip with friends, social media users immediately began reading deeper meaning into the images. Some treated it as evidence of personal problems, while others argued that people were simply projecting their own assumptions onto ordinary events. Another topic that frequently appears in these discussions involves inherited wealth and long-term financial planning. Critics often speculate about family assets, future inheritances, and how those resources may factor into Harry's overall financial picture. However, much of that conversation is based on assumptions rather than confirmed information. At the same time, reports have questioned the performance of some business ventures associated with Meghan. Commentators have debated sales figures, growth expectations, and future prospects. Whether those concerns are justified remains a matter of debate, but they continue to add another layer to the wider conversation surrounding the couple's future plans.
It is absent without leave. It's a dead parrot. It is an deal. It is no more. It is a broadcast deal that's pushing up the daisies. It's gone to meet its maker. Finito. The end. Good night, Vienna. Adios.
And public image. And it's the product lineup itself that has sparked so much discussion. Jam, edible decorations, candles, gift items, and a mix of lifestyle products that many people struggle to connect under one clear theme. To critics, the collection feels scattered rather than focused, and that's become a major talking point. Some commentators summed up their criticism in just a few words: she is the brand. Their argument is that the public identity gets more attention than the products themselves. Whether that's fair or not, it's a perception that continues to follow the business. Reports have also pointed to declining website traffic and questions about long-term demand. Critics have already started predicting where they think the story ends, with discounts, markdowns, and unsold inventory becoming part of the conversation. So this is where the debate lands. Questions about finances, questions about public image, questions about business ventures, and questions about future plans. Pick any part of the story, and critics argue it connects back to the same issue. For them, whether the discussion is about the games, media attention, business projects, or public appearances, one theme keeps appearing at the center of it all: money.